what up? This your boy, your brother, your friend, your neighbor, G. Welcome back to another episode of Cut Different. I'm excited today, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the day I get a stove in my house.
All right.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. And another reason I'm excited today, you know you grown when you're excited about a stove.
Yeah.
I had to get me a new stove, y'all. It's a long time coming. I don't have no clue about upgrading nothing in the house, but I finally found one. But anyway, another guest is in the building. You've heard him before. Brother Tony. Brother Tony, I ain't got no applause. There you go right there.
What's going on?
A lot of people don't know. I don't think from the first time we did the show together, I haven't explained my relationship with Brother Tony. Brother Tony and his father baptized me in my tub. It's another reason I won't ever sell my house. One of the most significant and most important experiences I've ever had in my life happened right there in my house, and this man is a part of it. So how you doing today, brother?
Oh, man, I'm good. I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good. Blessed, black, and highly favored.
Yes, sir.
So, before we jump into the meat of it, Kirk Franklin got in trouble over the weekend for his son recording him having an argument with his son. So Kirk said some unsavory words to some people, but if you have some grown kids, if you've had any issues with your children before, when they become of age, hey, at some point, you still a Christian. But you're not just a Christian with this kid. You're a father that's pissed off.
Yes.
So Kirk did something that I don't exactly agree with.
Okay.
He apologized for his actions and his part in that thing. And I'm like, that's his business. That's between him and his son. His son is 33 years old. 33. He told his son he'll break his foot off him. He didn't say it like that. You know, he used some other choice word, but he was upset.
Yeah.
You think God is charging us for being upset sometimes? You know what I mean? If you come to grips with it, that's between you and God. I don't think a curse word will keep you out of heaven, though.
It's not.
You know what I mean?
It's not. Now, this is the thing. Who did he apologize to? What, the people that heard it?
Yeah. Okay.
See, that to me is a political thing.
Yeah.
You know, for his career, but he has enough. What if you want to say money or fame? I don't think he had to do that, but he did it for whatever reason he wanted to do it. But at the same time,
for office and position.
Yeah, for office and position. But the thing is, I got a 33-year-old that's going to probably buck up or say something. You know, he already know the deal. And I say some things. Now, after I said it, I would apologize to my son, but I still let him know, wait a minute. You know the deal. But the only apology will be the words I used, but not what I said.
Yeah.
The words I used.
I'm sorry for talking to you.
Yeah, for like that.
Yeah.
But you know that I'm not going to play these games. Because us as dads and fathers, we got to let our children know, listen, this is not going to be a run over thing. You're not going to do this, especially at your age. Because guess what? You know better.
Yeah.
And when they come like that, you have to come with a stern hand. Because what happens is, if you don't, what they'll do, they know their dad, they'll think that, hey, my dad will let me do it all the time.
Yeah.
See, that buck has to stop right then.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He stopped the buck. It ain't going to work like this, son. No, it worked like this. Now, after it's all said and done, but you going to know what I said. I'll come back and say, you know, the words I used may not have been savory or nice, but you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nah.
And even in that, that's not really, that's not really apologizing. That's apologizing for my behavior. You know what I mean?
There you go.
That's not saying I'm sorry for what I said, sir. I'm not.
That's right.
I'm not. You grown, I'm grown. You my child, but you my son.
That's it.
You a man.
That's it.
And you talking to me crazy because a lot of people didn't mention the fact that right in the beginning of it, before Kirk went off, his son was cursing at him. So you came at me crazy, and I'm supposed to be sitting here in a suit with a Bible on my lap with my legs crossed. You know what I mean? And we probably don't have this conversation before. And I know as a Christian, just as a man in general, I'm gonna give you a pass the first time, maybe even the second time. But I fed you. You grew up in my household. I take care of you. You ain't got too many more times to be talking to me crazy.
Yeah,
you really don't. And a lot of people criticizing him on just the fact that where he is in his walk. Like he's not supposed to get upset. Like when you're Christian, you're not human. You can't get mad.
See, that's a false. That's a false. See, you can't even listen. What is the Bible say? He said, "Be ye angry, right? But sin not." So he let you know that you could be angry. Now what? Listen, we all fall. Listen, we all do some things that are not right. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now, at the same time, I can say this. We have to also be able to, even in those situations, mm-hmm. control our emotions. Yeah. We have to be able to do that. Because this is what happened. You just got to see it for what it is. We're going to say who it is. The enemy, all he did was try to push buttons. Mm-hmm. And when he pushed his button, he said, okay, if I do this, let's see the reaction that I get. And that's what our children do as us as fathers. Let me see the reaction that I'm going to get from my dad if I do this craziness. Mm-hmm. Because I got a son. And he didn't done that before. Yeah, then bucked up or, done some stuff. And, at the time, I kind of gave him a two-piece. Blah, blah. So I'm thinking, nah, it ain't going to work like this. But afterwards, I'm going to be honest, I felt so sorrowful for what I've done. You know what I'm saying? Because that's my son. I know it could have been done in a better way, but at the time, my emotions, and I couldn't control my emotions. So I let my emotions now take control, and it did some things that I probably should not have, because we could have talked it out. Yeah. But at the time, I didn't. Like I said, I let my emotions. Now that he's older, our relationship has got so much better because all we do is talk. Because I don't let him rattle me no more. And he even do some stuff now. And we tell him one thing, guess what? Our children, when we tell them one thing, what do? They do the opposite. Yeah. I love him. So when he tells me things now, we just talk it out. I say, all right, son. Because you can't rattle me. Yeah. So now we have to be, and going back to my brother Kirk Franklin, because that's my brother. Mm-hmm. And I believe he's a man of God, and I believe he's doing the things he need to do. At the time when that happened, we don't know what all was going on. We don't know.
They play like 20 seconds of that argument. 20 seconds.
Don't they always do that?
Yeah.
The part that they want the people to see your negativity, mm-hmm. That's all they want to see. That's all people want to see, so people can say stuff. But at the same time, we don't know what's going on. But I believe my brother could have controlled his emotions and not did that, but kind of did it in a different way. But it was done. But I can say that now because guess what? I'm not in that position.
No. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, most of the critics are probably parents of small children, and they don't know the other side of it. When your child is grown, it's a whole nother type of parenting you got to do. You're not ready for what's coming on that other side. I had my oldest daughter text me F you one time. Yeah. When I tell you Kirk Franklin wouldn't have had nothing on me if I was in her state. You know what I mean? I would have been calling asking for, hey, somebody better bail me out. Cause I'm riding over there. I don't care how old you are, I'm coming with a belt. I'm kicking those in.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, and that's just some things. That don't mean your relationship with, his relationship with his son is over.
No.
Because any relationship got those kind of conversations that's gonna come up, man.
Yes.
When you love somebody so much, sometimes you can be very disrespectful, and they can be very disrespectful to you. You already know what hurt their feelings. You know what I mean? So my take on that is, y'all gotta let that man be him and mind your business.
Yes.
Mind your business. Wait till you go through it with your adult children, and you see how you feel after you go through that.
And let me throw this at you, right? What the person say? What he's saying? The word that, you got a beam in your eye, but you want to get the speck out of my eye. But your thing is so big you can't even see.
Right.
But you want to look at me and say, "Oh, you got a speck in your eye," but mine is worse than yours. And that's what most people who are talking, they probably got so many daggone issues. Guess what? They ain't got nothing else to do but talk about somebody else. Yeah. But can't handle their own. Man, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what this pandemic does. Right now, I think the only thing I thought Kirk was guilty of is not always being alert or alarmed to the fact that the devil is always busy. You know what I mean?
Boy, come on.
And he's always gonna try to pull you in there and make you act out of character.
Absolutely.
Or not act out of character, but just try to suck you into some stuff. Like, that's a conversation you should have never had over the phone. You're a celebrity, for one. You're a Christian, but you're a celebrity.
Right.
It's always some faultiness going on with them phones.
Yeah.
Phones, internet, and all them devices. You called me to stir the pot so I can react.
Yes.
My son.
Yeah.
I should have seen this coming.
Yeah, should have seen it coming.
Yeah.
That's right, brother.
Yo, I shouldn't have had that conversation with you on the phone. I should have just hung up the phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to have this conversation, you come over to the house. Now, I probably would have said the same thing to you. You know what I mean? But it would have been just our business.
And face to face.
Yeah. It would have been our business.
Yep.
So, that's what I got on that. Y'all chime in and let us know what y'all think. It's been a very, very interesting week. I want to ask you a question. I haven't got a chance to ask anybody. What prompted you to start your walk with God? What made you go?
I'm gonna tell you. Being that my dad was military, so this what kind of did it, right? I knew about God. So when I was drinking real heavy, I was in the military drinking real heavy, and my wife, one of my good friends, we was watching a football game, and at the time, I love the Miami Dolphins, man. I'm like, oh, the Dolphins is the team, and
sorry to hear that. Go ahead.
we was in my living room, and a young guy, I just been married not too long, and he was talking. We was drinking, so he was talking trash. Man, my Dolphins were getting beat. I went in the room. I'm a chain man now, and I got a bat, and I tried to knock his head off with the bat. I tried to knock his head off. A football game now. This a good friend of mine. I tried my best, and he just so happened he ducked under, and I hit the wall. Bam! Tried to knock his head off, because he talking about Dolphins. Now they losing. I'm a grown man now. Yeah. So look, right then my wife, she was going to leave me. She said, I'm done. She called my dad, called my mom, said, I'm done. He drinking. I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? And right then, I said, man, I can't lose my wife. I'm going to tell you this how I promise. So we went to church. And when we went to church that Sunday, I was still drunk. The next Sunday, we went to church, I was drunk. I was drunk up in church. And the man said, who want to be saved? And I don't know what did. I just walked up there. Drunk. And that was it. I'm telling you, my life changed forever. I didn't drink ever again. From that point on, never touched another bottle of drink, nothing. From that point on. And my friends would come over. Even my friend that I tried to hit with the bat, he came over and said, hey man, I got a 12 pack. I said, man, I don't even drink no more. He was like, what? I said, nah, man, I don't do that no more. They wanted to go out party. I went out, but I didn't drink. I said, nah, man, I'm done with that. And that was it for me. And that prompted me to just move forward in God. And that's how it happened for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So what would you say to people that, because I've always heard the stories of, you know, I was doing such and such, and then when I got with God, I stopped. And for a lot of people, it doesn't happen that way.
And listen, it's not going to happen that way with everybody. Because, see, we have to be changed. This is the thing. We still have, see, when we change, when we accept Christ, we still have the old, put it like this. It's like a computer, right? Mm-hmm. Computer has all its data in it. But when we become saved, we still have the same program. But that program has to be changed. And the only way that can be changed is by you going in, reading your word, and it flushes out all of the bad, because you got to be reprogrammed. It's not going to happen like that. For some it is. For most it's not. Yeah. It's a process.
But some, you know, when I hear a story like that, I think at that level that you were, you needed to be saved from that.
Yeah,
you know, because
absolutely.
that was going to be very destructive. So God recognizes that, you know, and some things that we going through, you know, those things, that's an area of growth for us.
Yes.
So that's a processing.
There you go.
Of growth.
Yes.
It's not as extreme as what was going on with you and with some others. How detrimental that was for you in your life at that time.
Yes.
It needed to go away.
Yes, it did.
But for some others, that's like struggling with sex and partying and neglect just in their life period. You know what I mean? All those struggles they have. A lot of them, they're looking, you know what I mean? Because they always hear about the big stories, like a story like that. That right there, that's what they expect. Mm-hmm. Like it's going to happen like that. And if it doesn't happen like that when I pray or when I go to the altar, like, I guess this ain't working for me. So I might as well keep doing what I'm doing or just give up on God. Give up on God. So what do you say to those that still have those struggles in their life?
Man, listen, I say this. You got to just continue to seek God. I'm just telling you. You got to just continue. See, don't give up. See, what the enemy wants you to know and think that there is no hope for this. I'm going to give you a good example, right? This is a big one that a lot of men struggle with, and women, but most men. Pornography. Let's just hit pornography, right? Yeah. Pornography is huge. Because people look at it and it becomes like an addiction. Okay? So what happens is, as you could be a born-again believer and still struggle with pornography. But what has to happen is, you have to have now continue to seek God, because your seeking God and your willingness of loving God has to be stronger than the pornography that's pulling you that way. Mm-hmm. Because look at it like this. If you think about tug of war, right? Whichever side is stronger is going to get the most rope. Right?
Yeah.
So if the pornography is stronger, it's going to get the most rope. Yeah. But if God is stronger, as you start, see, pornography going to have it at first. Mm-hmm. But as you start seeking God and start getting into his word and learning about him and his love for you, the love of God pulls now stronger and it gets the most rope. But that don't mean pornography not going to pop up. Because the enemy knows what your struggle is.
I was just about to say that. So what if you dealt with it and now God got all the rope? And then a couple years down the line, your wife done made you mad and you just flip that laptop open.
Guess what? So, guess what? Now you get back in and say, Lord, please forgive me. And now you keep going that way. Let God continue to pull the rope.
Yeah. Like anything in life.
That's it.
Just because you win one battle don't mean you're not going to ever have a battle again. It's not just one with life.
I'm gonna give everybody a good example. You remember when Christ was in? He said when Christ was led up into the wilderness, right? Mm-hmm. And then the enemy came and he said, "Oh, I'll show you this." And Christ said, "Get behind me." Every word of God that you're gonna believe in the word of God. Anyway, what happens is he said the enemy left him what? For a season. That mean what? He coming back.
Yeah.
So, do you think we any different?
No. No, not at all.
Not at all. So, guess what? If you think you overcame it, guess what? He gonna come back with that same thing to see, have you really overcome it? And if you ain't, you gonna fall trap and then just get your butt back up and dust yourself off and keep going the way God going. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up because that's what he wants you to do. Beat yourself up to where you say, I've been walking with God for all this time and I'm still dealing with this? Yeah. So, does that make you unloved by God? No. Does that make you any less than a child of God? No. Mm-hmm. You just failed. Now get up. Yeah. What do we tell our boys? When they fall down straight, get up, boy.
Immediately.
Boy, get up.
Yeah. Come on, you stay down there, you're going to get used to it.
Say it again.
You stay down there, you're going to get used
to it.
You're
going to get used to it. Now think about the situation. If you stay down there, you're going to get used to it. And guess what? You're going to say, this is where I need to be. Yeah. There is no hope. Mm-hmm. But there's always hope.
Wow. Wow. That's good. That's real good right there. A lot of times, even with when people are like new Christians, they're always looking for God to be sending out tests. I don't know where we get it from, but they're always looking for God. Don't nobody test you like the devil. He always got a quiz for you every day. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a pop quiz every day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna air all your weaknesses. I'm gonna be looking for which one I can manipulate today.
Yes. Yes.
That's him. That's how your enemy operates.
Absolutely.
He want to know where he can hurt you at. Where can I lure you back in? Where can I create some doubt for you?
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
So when all of a sudden you start dealing with something that you thought you defeated, no man, that don't mean that it's an issue with yourself. One, you human. You human. It's not going away as long as you on this earth. Something's gonna come up.
Ooh,
something.
That's it. That's it.
For real, right?
Yeah.
And you're not gonna escape that until you're in this ground.
Not gonna escape it.
Yeah.
How are we any different? Throughout the Bible, you see how the enemy just tested everybody. Paul, he tested them. He want to see, okay, are you strong? They come with all kinds of different. But guess what? And guess some of them fail. But guess what? Get back up. Keep it moving. Because he said what? There is no condemnation to those who are in Christ Jesus. I mean, you can't be condemned. Don't let nobody put this mess on you. You know it. Now, I'm going to hit you with this.
You said there's no condemnation.
No condemnation. See, and this the thing. Guess who condemn us the most? The church folks. Yeah. Now, let's just be real. Yeah. They condemn us the most. Yeah. Instead of saying, brother, get back up. You okay? Instead of they want to beat you down. Oh, you should have never done that. I can't believe you're still in this. No, wait a minute, bro. You probably got the same issue. You just ain't telling nobody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your oldest son ain't your wife's son. Well, we don't talk about that. You know what I mean? Like, that's evidence that you've made mistakes, too.
Yes, absolutely.
But you looking at me and you judging me like you crazy. Like you just ain't never did nothing. I was so that was my biggest issue when I started going to church. It was just I didn't even know how to be myself. I wasn't comfortable in who I was and what I had to offer to the body of Christ because I was so busy thinking about what they said I should and shouldn't do, what I shouldn't think, how I shouldn't feel. You know what I mean? And that's on them, but it's on me too.
But at the same time, as we, even as new Christians, we look to them.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. We look to them because we're looking for an example. Somebody to say, okay, this is the way it should go. But when you do that to me, I just figure out, oh, man. I mean, really?
Yeah.
But because we haven't grown to that level. We're looking for you. Yeah. But then you up here saying, oh, you should be this. But you ain't telling your story.
Yeah. They present the image of unscathed. If Jesus Christ was in the garden and that devil was over there learning, trying to tempt him, this is Jesus.
That's what I'm saying.
Who are you?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Who are you? You know what?
Yeah.
Just like you
Nobody
said.
Immune.
You think you getting out unscathed?
Yeah.
Bro, come on, man.
For real. Yeah.
Nah.
You're going to try everybody.
Everybody.
And going to church hurt and church issues with church. How do they deal with that? If you're new and you can see it, unless you... I made a joke one time that a lot of people I see in church seem like some of the people that are just easily led. You know what I mean? They sometimes come off as like mindless sometimes, or they don't think for themselves. So it's so easy for them to be led down the road, and a lot of times those are the extremists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of churches in the past have focused a lot of their recruiting and building their congregation in a lot of like low income areas. So a lot of times they're dealing with people that aren't that educated, and then when you walk in the door, you got somewhat, you know what I mean, some knowing you.
Yeah.
You know some stuff. So you can't just pull the wool over my eyes and tell me to walk. You know what I mean?
Right.
So with people that have experienced some of these revelations in church, some of these issues in church, how should they be navigating that? Like when you know that all the stuff we just said, when you know that,
yeah,
and then you try to involve yourself in fellowship, because ultimately that's the only purpose for a church. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't turn my alarm off. You have to forgive me for a second. That's y'all fault. Y'all shouldn't have trusted me with this thing. But let me go back to it. There we go. We still rolling.
All right.
But
hey.
But yeah, how would you suggest that they deal with those things, like in the realm of church, to offset some of this church hurt that everybody crying about?
Well, look, this what's happening with church hurt, because I've experienced it.
Yeah.
And I've been to the place where loved where I was going, and some things happened, and I mean, the words and the things that came from it, it was hurt, so. But what I've learned is this. Even though we come into a fellowship or a church or whatever you want to call it, right? We have to now know for ourselves. If you think about the church in Acts, they was talking about that the people heard the word. I'm going to paraphrase. They heard the word. But what they did, they went back every day, daily, and checked it for themselves. See? So now what we have to do is we have to get the Bible. And guess what? We don't have to be the most intelligent. All you got to do is read. And when you read the Bible, it tells you how things are supposed to go. That means you're not depending on the pastor. You're not depending on a man up there preaching. You're depending on God's word. And as you see things in the word, then you see it acted out. You say, okay, what did Paul, I think it was Paul said, follow me is what? As I follow Christ, right? But if we're following man and man's not doing right, we say, I can't follow you, right? Now I got to run from you because you're not doing what the word says that I seen and read for my own self. Because what we do is, the preacher will get up there, he tell us all this stuff. And then we believe it, and then we go with it. Because I didn't been there. And then go back and look, and as God started revealing, you say, man, that ain't what it really was saying. But they say, oh, it's saying this. And you say, oh, I got it. Man, that junk be so far off sometimes, it be like, man, this joker did it for his own agenda. Not saying all of them do that. I'm not saying that. No. But we have to be now led by the Spirit of God, the Word of God, as we read it for ourselves and know it for ourselves. Then we can check what is being said and say, well, wait a minute. Because, see, that'll stop a lot of church hurt. Because people going to come with other stuff and they hurt you by what they saying you doing or the word. You know, and they twist the word and say, oh, you should be doing this. But then the word say, wait a minute, bro.
Yeah, the attitude of God forgives, but we don't. Church don't forgive a lot of times. but we been taught constantly and consistently that God does. And we are made in his image and likeness, so
come on.
Why can't you?
Come on. Come on.
You? Yeah. Why can't you? And for those that have those experiences, and this is my charge to them. Like you'll have this experience, you'll go through some crap in church.
Yep.
And then that one church sets the precedence for your whole entire relationship with God, how you feel about going to anybody's church. You had this one experience.
One experience.
Because you had this person or these people all the way up here. And then when they disappointed you, you felt like everybody was like that.
I'm glad you just said that. Listen, y'all. Listen. This what happened. Just like you said, you got this one or two people that, guess what? You esteemed higher than God.
Yeah.
Because now you looking to them instead of looking to God. And when they disappointed you, guess what? You wasn't supposed to be looking at them anyway and esteeming them above God.
Yeah.
Because God is the highest.
Right.
So when you look at them and say, oh, look, man.
Yeah.
I know people and some of them, and I don't hate on them. I thank God for them. You know, they be up in the pastor's butthole if he can't even breathe good. Mm-hmm. Guess what? They really looking to him more than they looking to God.
Yeah. Because
every whim and every word that he says, if he move left, they whole butt move because they head up his butt so high. Yeah. They moving left. Yeah. He move right. If he swing too hard, it may break their neck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I've seen it.
Man, come on. And every word he says or she or whoever it is says, they jump on it instead of going to the word of God.
Yeah, no. They don't even open their Bible.
Don't even open it. Most of them don't.
No. You just know it's the truth coming from them.
Man.
They giving y'all all that is a lot of times, and I don't want to sound dark about it, but this is the teacher's interpretation of the word for the day that he's trying to bring forth. That's not the only way that can be looked at.
Yes.
That's not the only way that can be utilized.
That's right.
You can see the same passage use the same verse 4 different ways.
Absolutely.
And you can read it. This verse right here might be talking about John walking up a mountain, and it come to you one day. You're like, oh, I can utilize this in my life. This applies to what I'm going through right now. No, I'm not walking up a mountain, but I'm in this office filling out an application for something I don't qualify for.
And what you just said it, bro. So what happens is, what we just say? Because you knew the word for yourself.
Yes.
And when God gave it to you, that was for you. You got it. You used it for you. He used it for you. Because he said it was this. But when God gave it to you, it was about this situation. And it's the same thing. But you knew it for yourself. You went and read it. You got it. And that's what he used for that situation. Brother, you saying it right on time. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I had good teachers.
I hear you. That's it, bro.
I had good teachers.
That's it.
Hey, it ain't never about me. And that's a lot of times you'll hear people, reverence someone, so much. Like, just reiterating what you said before, we have to be careful about that from day one. Like, you got to stop making these people unhuman.
That's right. That's it.
They just like you. At the end of the day, they may have more knowledge on this subject than you do. And sometimes you'll find out that when you're dealing with people that just walked in, they got more experience with stuff that you didn't. That, God spoke to them in the area that you struggling with.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We all here together. If we just start looking through the lenses of love. You know what I mean? If we start looking at life that way.
Yes.
And looking at people that way, and we'll realize that we all need each other. It ain't 7.5 billion people on Earth for no reason. It ain't that many people. And you out here trying to figure it out on your own sometimes, yeah. It's good to walk. But you ain't got to walk alone.
That's
You know what I mean?
That's it.
You don't have to do that. There's no need for an island. Don't create an island for yourself.
That's it.
And a lot of times when we go out here, and this for the people that experience church hurt, and then you kind of back away.
Yeah.
But like we said before in one of those, I heard it in one of your Bible studies too, but we've said it before too. When we used to do the Bible study in the room, that the devil ain't trying to attack the pack. Oh, he waiting for that one that's lingering out there by himself.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, because you got to forget. We talk about the strength of the devil a lot, but we forget that he's a coward.
Absolutely.
He's a coward. He's not strong.
Absolutely.
He's not that strong at all. He's trying to find you at your weakest and most vulnerable positions in life. He's never looking at you. He ain't gonna come in this room right now. We strong.
That's
It's
it.
two of us
That's
right
it.
now. He gonna stay out there.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? He gonna wait till we go into our car late at night by ourselves.
Come on, bro.
And come out to creep out the little crevices. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we always looking for some thunderous image of what he is. He's so strong. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that ain't him.
Right.
That ain't him. And when we talk ourselves out of position, he gets in position.
Oh, say that again.
When we talk ourselves out of position, he gets in position.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now that's deep.
Yeah. Again, I had good teachers.
That's deep. I ain't never heard that. When we talk ourselves out of position, he gets in position.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm gonna have to use that.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, man. Hey. That's what I learned. When you talk to old people, man, they open your eyes to a lot of stuff, man. Your father's been a blessing to me.
That is so awesome, bro.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So, a man don't work, don't eat.
Okay. Yeah. Man don't work, don't eat.
See, I always, you notice when I send you the subjects, I don't give you the whole thing.
Yeah. It's all good.
Because one thing I like to do on this right here is make it as authentic and as raw as possible. Sometimes when we prepare too much, it becomes a lecture.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
So
that's right.
I like to have that natural conversation because I don't intend on saying none of the stuff, and we've been talking for a minute. I didn't plan none of that.
Ain't that something?
You know what I mean?
Ain't that something?
Who planned it? You
That's
know
it.
who planned it.
Come on,
Y'all
God.
know who planned it.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah. So, a man don't work, don't eat. What do you have for that right there?
You know.
A lot of people interpret that differently.
Okay. A man don't work, don't make. Let's just look at it in a natural sense. Let's don't look at nothing spiritual. Let's just go natural, right?
Yeah.
If a man don't go out here and work, just regular work, how you gonna get fed?
Right.
That's just natural. Listen, man. If I don't have no type of income coming in, the only thing I could do is either go to the food shelter. I get something to eat there.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, or I could stand out here on the street, and I'm not down on nobody, and have a sign that say, I need some food.
All right.
So just naturally, bro, if I don't have nothing to be able to have financial means, I mean, I'm not gonna eat, bro.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times, and what made me think of that was that so many of our young men are so entitled. Like you haven't did anything or contributed anything towards what you're saying you want for yourself. You got 24 hours in a day, and you devoted 23 of them hours to doing none of what you said you want to do with your life. You know what I mean? And it's just in theory that you want these things.
And you know what it is, bro. Now, not saying all the younger generation. No. I'm saying even some of the older.
We don't have to apologize, Tom.
No. It's basically a lack of wanting to accept responsibility.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Yeah.
You don't want to be responsible for you, and you don't want to be responsible for nobody. So what you do is do nothing.
Right.
And then now let's go back to the point that you said. If I can get it, you said if we get out of position, mm-hmm. the devil what takes? Position.
Yeah.
So now let's look at this scenario. If man don't work, man don't eat. So now man is supposed to be able to what? Protect or to do something for his children. Right? Yeah. So now if you look at this, now you're out of position, and now devil takes position and rules your mind, and you think, I ain't got to do nothing.
That should spur up a lot of us. And it's not just young men, it's older guys too, because I've heard sometimes, and I know I shouldn't hold them to those standards, but I'm always shocked when I meet a guy in his 50s and 60s that's still making excuses for what he doesn't do for himself and his family.
Now, what did you say? He make what?
Excuses.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because you make excuse because you don't want to do what? Take responsibility.
But you cry about this.
See?
You crying about it. Now, when you out of position, you don't ever think about who's in position now?
Well, don't give me. Don't give me. That's it.
Somebody's going to fill that gap.
Somebody going to fill a gap.
It's going to, and sometimes it's, you got good people that come in and fill those gaps for you, but a lot of times, you know what I mean? Once it's filled, it don't always mean that you can come back and ask, can you get back in position?
That's it. And now look the detriment you've done. Because now you got out of position, and like you said, now somebody got in position, which could be the enemy or whomever. Mm-hmm. Somebody got in position. Because I can't say always the enemy, because somebody may just, because you're out of position, they may just be a kind-hearted person and be able to take your children in, mm-hmm. be able to make sure your wife or whomever you had, make sure they were taken care of. Not that they wanted anything from them, but they were just in a position to help, right? So, but most of the time, the enemy would take position, or somebody would take position. Now, guess what? Their confidence has now went from you to the person that's in position, because the person that's in position is now providing. Mm-hmm. So now, just like you said, now you think you could waltz back in and say, hey, I'm the man. No, first of all, when you have to say you the man, you're not the man.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it like a lot of times I was thinking about Stockholm syndrome. A lot of times when people are being held captive a lot of times when people are being held captive, they start falling in love with their captor. You know what I mean? And they don't understand that, the devil came in and stole this from you when you got out of position. But they don't see them that way. They see them as, that's my savior. Like, you did this because you love me. You didn't do this because you was trying to ruin the family that we had. You did this because we love you. And that's why a lot of times people don't pay attention to, I be paying attention to stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot of divorces 20 years in the game, 40 years in the game, because something came out of nowhere and provided something that you was neglected of. You know what I mean? And then you get with that, And you realize now for the rest of your life, you 40, 56, 70 years old, for the rest of your life, you holding this candle and this anger towards this person. By showing this dedication and love for this right here that you know don't mean you no good. You know what I mean? You 70 years old pulling up to the club now. I'm still.
Nah, but that's good. Cause now let me just throw this at you, right? And a lot of times I can say 90, probably I can't get precision. I say 98% of the time they know it's wrong, right? But what keeps them from really going back and to reversing what they know is wrong? Pride. Pride keeps them, because pride says you can't go back now because, man, you done already messed up. You done already done ruined your whole family. You know, you done went with this guy. You know he jacked up, or you know she's jacked up, and you done ruined everything. Now, pride says you can't go back.
Yeah. No. You force yourself to be mad at him.
Yeah.
You force it. You're like, she ain't never did nothing. She ain't had you. All you doing, you got somebody that over here that's just as broken as you are. Championing your conversation about your ex.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And I'm saying that while we on that part, just thinking about those individuals that are out here, you know, in that age group that I already mentioned. And I guess it can happen in some of the younger age group. But they out here mimicking young people, teenagers. They out here living out their dream where I never had a chance to go to the club. I never had a chance to look like the Instagram girls. And now I'm 50 years old and I still look good. So let me do what they doing. You know, you following the young people around and you don't ruin family. And psychologists say that when parents go through divorce, when kids are older, it's way more effective than it is when they're young children.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of reports out there. Y'all feel free to Google that too and research it for yourselves. But it's more effective when mama and daddy, I'm 25, 30 years old, and mama going through it. You ripped away my foundation.
Yes, that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
I had hopes of building what you got.
That's true.
And you just ripped that away from me.
That's true.
Now, what I believed in, now that I don't believe in that, now, church, you ripping that away from me too? Because what y'all had, what you taught me, y'all built that on God.
Wow.
So now you messing with everything you taught me now. Everything that's important, you've messed that up. And now you out here wilding. And now all the stuff that I was scared of for my children, the reason I told myself I was staying so that they'll be all right and we won't ruin their chances for a decent life. Now you let them get this life and then you rip it from them.
That's total disaster.
Yes.
If you think about that, think about this, yo. You done built a foundation. Let's just go here. And something that everybody can relate to, right? They go out here and they build a new road, right? Mm-hmm. The road is beautiful. You see it when it first get laid. They got the lines on it, so pretty. You like, man, this is so beautiful. Yeah. It rides so smooth.
Yeah, you make up a reason to drive down that road.
Because that road is so smooth. Man, I got to turn down this because that road is smooth, right? Then, all of a sudden, all these years, like we talk about a marriage, and all you see is this smooth road. Oh, I love this road. And then it get a big crack in it, right? A big pothole. You like, and then you hit the pothole, you like, man, this road, man, they done messed up my whole thing about this daggone road. Yeah. I don't even like this road no more. And then, look, then they patch it. And you can't really fix it because it keeps coming back. Mm-hmm. The hole just keep coming back. And then sometimes it get bigger. Yeah. So all along, you didn't ruin this thing. Now you want to, you got this, everything you built for your children is smooth. And just like you said, then you destroyed it and put a big hole in it. And they like, I don't even like this no more. Everything I thought was nice about this It ain't no nice no
That
more.
store I found that I didn't ever notice that was on that road. I don't want to shop there no more.
I don't even want to shop there no
I don't
more.
want to eat at that restaurant on that street no more.
Can't even do it.
No. Now you've ruined. That's a part of my life that's forever ruined now.
Ever ruined.
Yeah. You don't told me that I shouldn't believe in love. I shouldn't believe in God. That's what you telling me. And this choice that you're making for yourself.
So
You think it's hard when you going through marriage, and I've dealt this, having a conversation with my child, when she was young about divorce. You know what I mean? That's something that when your child hurts on the inside, you ain't got a Band-Aid. It ain't nothing you can do to heal that. That'll tear up a real parent. That's going to hurt you. And when you out here, when you got an adult, you know what I mean? You know how it is when your child first fall off a bike, but when your adult child fall out the car, and you rushing as a parent, you got to notice that I need to make sure that I continue this walk for you.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It would have devastated me if my mama would have told me that she wasn't saved no more. Like, so all the principles that you taught me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you would have turned your back on God then.
Man.
And all of this applies, all of it ties together, because if you don't stay in your position,
Yes. Yes.
what fills the void? You leaving the door open for a whole lot of stuff.
That's it.
So it's important. That's why it always pains me when I see people going through divorce later on in life. You know what I mean? Like, it hurts when they in their 20s and they trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? And maybe you just weren't mature enough.
Yeah.
The kids were still babies, so they don't know no better. It's enough time for another woman or another man to come in and still give you the structure.
That's true.
That's needed in a
That's true.
whole healthy
That's
family.
true.
But when you get out here and you rip the blanket, now I got kids, I got a wife, and then I look at y'all 20, 30 years in and y'all just snatched them. Okay, what happened when I started going through what y'all went through? You can't even advise me on this right now.
Right.
You my greatest counselor. You're my mother.
Yep.
You're my father. You're my
Man.
greatest counselor. You're my greatest teacher. So
Because that's who they looked up to.
yeah.
Now I'm going to hit you with this. Check this out. On both sides of the coin, when this divorce things happen, or like we talking about man don't work, man don't eat, right?
Oh, yeah. It's all time together.
Yeah, it's time together. On both sides of this coin, right? Whether when they get divorced, you said 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, some of them late, whatever years. It all boils down to really one thing. Self-centeredness.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about self.
Yeah,
On either side.
Yeah.
Either I wanted this or they wanted that. So it's all about, it ain't thinking about the other person. It's thinking about only me. What I want. But see, that ain't what Christ said. What did Christ do? He didn't do what he wanted. He did it for who? Us.
Mm-hmm.
He died for who? Us.
Mm-hmm.
That we may have. And that's what we as men should be doing for our family. It's about them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about me. I know we got a part because we got to be whole.
Yeah.
But we also got to be able to provide for them. And it's about them and not about me. Because what happens in divorce, if it's the woman, she look at another man or another man come in because it was about her then. I want to feel good. If the man does it, it's about him. I wanted to feel she wasn't treating me right. So I went out and slept. Or I went out and slipped. Because it's about you. But how about let's reverse this? Don't never think about you no more. Think about the other person. See, and then it will change. But we don't do that.
Yeah. You don't have to be concerned with yourself if you marry somebody that loves you too.
Come on, bro.
If you got them and they got you, why you need to worry about yourself? When somebody truly cares about you, you know when that happens. You know when somebody got your best interest. You know that. So we can't, I thought somebody else was coming in. Keep talking for me.
And what happened is we we fail to sit down and really have a conversation with one another. Because we fail to have open communication. And that's what this whole thing is making sure we have a open line of communication with one another so we don't get self-centered.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, bro, that thing is awesome. That thing is awesome that we now, man don't work, man don't eat. We have to go. We have to look at. It's not about me. I got to do something to make sure that I'm able. See, and people think provide. Let's just go here real quick. People think providing is money. Whoa, wait a minute. You got to provide wisdom, knowledge to your children, understanding to your children. See, a lot of people can have money and their children are neglected. They think gifts would do it. Gifts ain't love. What you say earlier? We got to show what? Love? Because, see, that's what we provide is love. Because we may not have all the money.
No.
But we provide you with the love. And that's more than any money, anything you could buy your children. That's greater than anything. It's love.
Yeah. And that is displayed with the amount of time you spend with them. You got to spend some time with them.
Come on.
It's hard to neglect something that you spend time with.
That's it. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep right
You
there.
ain't got to ask me if I care about my kids if they always with me.
Man, come on, bro. Come on, man.
And they ain't got to wonder if daddy care about me if I'm always with you. You know?
And see, they look at that. My dad provide for me. People, how you? Well, you don't have it. Well, wait a minute. Man, they got a commercial, right? I ain't seen it in a while, but a commercial, the person was standing out there, and one person came out, he had on a nice suit, whatever it was, had a nice vehicle, and he seen the person that was in high school with him or something. They said, "Oh, that's you?" Yeah. And this person had all this lavish stuff, but he went home, and nobody cared about him. But this person didn't have all this stuff, but they had love. And they seen the person who had all the stuff had no love, and they were like, man, I wish I had what they had. They got a loving mom, loving dad, who care about them, who calls them, hey, are you all right? But this person, they call and say, Mom, I need you. Well, I ain't going to be able to do it now. I'm in a meeting, or I got this, or I got that. I'm going to go get my nails done, and then I can talk to you. But you got all the money, but you have no love. Mm. So they really didn't have nothing. And this person that didn't have all this lavish stuff, but had the love that parents cared about them, they had everything. But the world makes you flop it and think, if you have all this stuff, you got everything, and you don't.
You see that with the wealthy people all the time. Their kids be jacked up.
Jacked up.
Mm-hmm. Don't know them. They don't know nothing about them. Can't tell you their favorite cereal.
Nothing.
Can't tell you nothing that's going on with their child.
Nothing.
Because they ain't been raising them.
They ain't been raising them. They got nannies.
Yeah. So with men, so you saying that the work is not just in labor in the physical, it's also in the communication of love.
Right. Emotional and spiritual.
Yeah.
That's what that work is.
Yeah.
Cause you gotta work. You man, listen. And guess what? I can provide, I can give you money. I could do that for you.
And not care nothing about you.
And not care nothing about you. But it's something for me to sit down with you, have a good conversation. Show you that I love you that way. And that I provide for you by giving you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on how to be a man. Or how to be a woman. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Your mom, of course, you're a single parent. You as a man can still give wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to your daughter.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because that's what you're doing.
Because you're still a person.
You're still a person. So I can relate to you and tell you these are the things that, guess what? You need to look out for, baby. Mm-hmm. Son, these are the things you need to look out for.
Yeah.
Because now we providing. Mm-hmm. See?
And you think about work. So with work, average person at work They work so many hours a week. And at the end of the week, the only reason that you're doing this work, the reason that you have this job or this career or whatever, is because at the end of that week, that Thursday or Friday, you know you're going to get a check.
Yes.
So, you flip that into what God was telling us about, doing work. You can't expect to extract anything out of anybody or any situation if you hadn't put in the time with it. You don't get paid for doing nothing.
That's it.
You know what I mean? That includes your work, your walk with God. That includes your marriage. That includes your children. You're going to have to do some things at work. Sometimes you do stuff you don't want to do. But because of my commitment and my need for what I get, you know what I mean? I know if I do right with in my walk with God, I know where I'm going. I know that if I stay married with this woman that I have vows with, I know what I get from that. I get that stability. I get a friend. You know what I mean? I get somebody that's got me and I got them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's something I can't get nowhere else.
Yeah.
I know that with my children, if I'm putting all of this into them, when they get to my age and when they get out of my house, they got all the tools necessary to take care of themselves and not let a lot of the crap. You know what I mean? That's
so
the work.
Good. That's so good. That's it.
So you gotta do the work.
That's it.
You don't get nothing from you don't get something from nothing.
That's it.
That's your work. Everything and all things all things that require work isn't labor. What it say? A happy worker. You know what I mean? The happy worker, you cheerful.
Yeah.
I know what I'm getting when I do this for them.
Yes.
I should be happy about that. I should not walk out of this door knowing that, hey, man, I don't want to go. I don't care about that. I don't care that they're gonna get their braces. I don't care if she gonna get the bra or the drawers or whatever little cute stuff she gonna do for me. Hey, if I go to work for that worth it. I know she gonna be coming out the shower looking cute. You know what I mean?
But come on.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
I don't care what kind of car I drive, as long as my wife not driving nice.
Right.
She got a car that I don't care about the label or the type of car it is, as long as her car ain't breaking down.
That's it.
She got something decent that's running decent.
Come on.
That's another headache off my table.
That's right here. That's it.
You know?
That's it.
That's the way we got to, fellas. This is the way we got to think about the work.
That's
it. It ain't what you're doing, it's what you're doing it for.
Yes.
The same way when you at your job, when that Friday come around and you know you finna get that check, this is the same thing. There's a payment that's coming to you.
That's right. That's right.
Keep working.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Keep doing it. Bro, I love it. Because that really just throw it all together right there. And sum that thing right on up.
Oh, that was your phone? Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's summing right on up, bro. When you said, hey, when you working for it, it's something that's going to come out of it. Now let's go here. Let's go here. Right? When we working, you said we know something good going to come out of it. So, now, he went on a natural side, and that's great. That's what we're talking about, because we need both sides. Same thing spiritual. He said, if you work, right, you be in the word, guess what? He said, I'm going to supply all your needs. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make sure you got whatever you need. Mm-hmm. Because what? You spent time with me. You worked at it. You went, same thing you doing for your job, because I know I'm going to get a check. And what's my check? All my needs are going to be met.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's my check.
Yeah.
And guess what? At the end of the day.
And your work is what? Spend time with.
That
ain't going to hurt you.
Come on, boy.
That ain't going to hurt you.
Come on.
To learn more about your Father and your Maker.
Come on.
What's that going to hurt?
Nothing but enhance you.
Yes.
That's it.
That's all of this is about. And a lot of people, I want to go back to the church. A lot of people, I want to go back to some of the non-believers. They don't want to sit in church because they don't want to hear what they feel sometimes is just one guy up there blabbing his mouth. Mm-hmm. But dude, it's not like they up there telling you to go kill, go hurt somebody. It ain't gonna kill you to absorb some things in your soul and your spirit every once in a while that's good for you. It won't hurt.
That's right.
It won't hurt at all. You take out, and not that I ever can, take out, the God and the spirituality. You look at the basic principles of being a Christian. That just makes you, who don't want a good person? I heard this list right here, I had talked about on the previous episode. These are just, these things right here: self-discipline, courteousness, cleanliness, love, cheerfulness, intelligence, and self-respect. Those are all offsprings of having a spiritual relationship, a real connected relationship with God.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that didn't come from a Christian. That just makes you a good person.
That's it.
That's it. If I'm going to go choose a person for me, they need to have all of that anyway.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Man.
I could add spirituality to this list, but love, self-discipline, courteousness, cleanliness, cheerfulness, intelligence, and self-respect, that is being spiritual. That is somebody that knows God. How can you have any of those without that?
First of all, how can you have love when it say God is love?
Yes.
You can't.
No, you can't. You can't. Not this right here.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
If it comes from somebody that doesn't have that claims to not have a spiritual or religion that they subscribe to, they just don't want to talk about it. Or you might want to watch for the roof to fall in. You know what I mean? Somebody lying.
Yeah.
How that's you gonna have all of that?
That's good.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
Yeah. Those things are important, fellas. Y'all let us know what y'all think about this episode out, man.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Dude. You know what? And this episode is actually shorter than our other ones, but it feels so long.
Man,
we covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
I love it.
Man, I sure appreciate you,
we
brother.
bringing Brother Tony back. I know y'all want him back.
I sure appreciate y'all.
I got him back. But this has been another episode of Cut Different, man. On all platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple, all the streaming platforms. We're on there. Share with your friends, man. Have a conversation about it. Let us know what y'all thought about today's episode. And you got anything else you want to say?
No, for sure, brother. We love y'all, man.
Oh yeah. All right, y'all. Be safe. Oh, I got to do my little tagline. I'm still trying to tweak it, y'all. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with your boy. These are my 2 cents. You can spend it or save it. It's up to you. Cut different.
That was good, man. That was good, bro. I love it, man. I love it. You know what? I love this because every time, man, you give it a scripture.